Last night, Kevin McCarthy's debt ceiling deal in principle, surrender in principle to his voters, passed the House of Representatives, garnering more Democrat votes than GOP votes, which makes sense considering Kevin's deal may as well have been written by Democrats. The Washington Uniparty was very pleased, with Kevin himself enjoying a, quote, standing ovation from some fellow Republicans, while establishment Republican surrogates ran the cable circuit, repeating the lie that Social Security and Medicare were about to be defunded when there was always plenty of money, even if the limit hit and ended deficits. To put Kevin's standing ovation in context, one CNN poll found almost 80% of Republican voters wanted major spending cuts, along with independent voters by a 2-to-1 margin. Even Democrat voters were evenly split, with half wanting major spending cuts in order to raise the ceiling. In other words, Kevin McCarthy just delivered a deal that strikes the perfect balance for Democrat voters, as if Republican and independent voters don't even exist, as in the voters who elected him. As bad as Kevin's deal is, getting roughly nothing for $4 trillion plus in debt, it gets even worse once you dig into the details. Because the deal doesn't just raise the ceiling, it suspends it altogether until January 1st, 2025. That is very significant, one might say devious, for two reasons. First, it gets past the 2024 election, which throws away the main leverage Republicans have, which is talking about spending during elections when voters actually have a say. Second, and even more devious, that very specific date of January 1st is calculated to place the next debt ceiling hike smack dab in the next Congress's lame duck session. That's the period between the election and the new Congress taking office, which is a period when Congress can ignore voters and cater to the machine. Meaning the next time Congress raises the ceiling, which they'll do roughly 36 hours before that January 1st deadline to scare grandma, they will not have a care in the world from pesky voters. So not only did McCarthy give away $4 trillion for peanuts, not only did he manage to find the exact center of Democrat Party voters, he actually crippled debt ceilings until 2026, when, according to the CBO, we will have over $36 trillion in federal debt. That's almost 150% of GDP and almost $300,000 for every American who actually pays income tax. So what happens next? Based Senator Mike Lee has promised to use, quote, every procedural tool to fight the deal, while Senator Rand Paul lamented that, quote, conservatives have been sold out again, and is demanding a deal that balances the federal budget in 5 years. Unfortunately, they are massively outnumbered in the Senate, even in their own party, while Democrats will, of course, greenlight a deal that strikes the perfect balance for their voters. And so, barring a miracle, the deal is done. The Senate will pass, Biden will sign, all before the June 5th deadline, meaning it is back to the march to $36 trillion. By the CBO's own tally, that would be almost $5 trillion in fresh deficits to keep the money printers running hot for years to come. Republicans, independents, even fiscally aware Democrats will keep getting screwed until enough voters of every party wake up, get angry, and demand the clowns in Washington actually serve the voters. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.